Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to today's live stream. Today is Thursday, November 21st. My name is Lana Shalom. I'm a certified neurographic instructor and coach. And I am here today. We're going to talk about how to remove limitations from your life. We're going to talk about how NeuroGraphica can bring you to remove limitations from your life. And we're going to discuss, I'm going to turn my camera actually, and bring it in. Welcome everybody. For those of you who don't know me, Lana Shalom, I have graduated as a neurographic instructor and coach in 2018. Give me a second. I want to make sure everything is fine as I am live on Facebook, that I'm able to see comments and everything. Excellent. And yesterday, let me know if you watched yesterday's stream. If you didn't, it's available on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. We actually did a live drawing. We did exploration into the neuroline, and we did a live drawing of the neuroline. We explored how the neuroline can give you different possibilities in life. And neuroline is actually the major part of what neurographic method is about. It's about using a specific kind of a line. And we explored that yesterday, inviting, if you haven't watched it yesterday, I'm definitely inviting you to watch it. It's amazing. It's gives you this amazing creative, outlook on life, creative tool to use in your life. So welcome, welcome, welcome to join, okay, and watch it. Today, we're going to talk about removing limitations. Okay, we're going to discuss what limitations are actually. When we talk about limitations, give me a second, I had it somewhere here. I wanted to show you there is, when I was actually doing limitations, right? I was translating, I was the first cohort of instructors who actually, decided we were instructors from the United States. Most of us were from United States of America. I think maybe one person was from England. I don't remember that part. I think we were all from United States of America. And we were a bunch of instructors in 2018 who came from the USA. And we were very excited to bring the neurographic method to the English-speaking audience. And I remember, one second. I'm trying to find it. And when I was trying to translate what the word limitation, because the algorithm, the main algorithm of the neurographic method, the main algorithm of neurographic in general, means it was about removing limitations, and we were trying to figure out, would the word limitations work? Would the word restrictions? Somebody said, let's do the word restrictions. Somebody said, let's do the word limitations. Somebody said, let's do the word, constraints was another option. Trying to find that I had a whole session. Give me a second. I think it's here. And I remember doing a research what the word limitation means, trying to figure out what would be the correct translation for algorithm for removing limitations, right? Because originally somebody suggested to do the algorithm for removing constraints. But when I looked at it, and I remember talking to the creator of the algorithm, of the method, Pavel Piskaryov, and I asked him specifically, I said, can you explain to me, what did you mean? Like, what was your intention when you created this specific algorithm, when you created the method, when you talk about, algorithm for removing limitations? What do you mean by limitations? Because there are different types of limitations. Limitations can be inner, limitations can be outer, what is it that you were intending to explore? And he told me what he meant by that was actually removing limitations from within, And that's why I started exploring inner limitations. And the word constraint actually meant limitations kind of posed by others. There's also the word restriction. I remember asking, would the word tension work? Like, can we do an algorithm for removing tension? And Pavel said, no, it must be limitations. Tension, he said, it's more like considering connecting to your body part, you know, to your body. You have a tension in your body. But he said limitations refer to your inner self, certain inner parts of who you are, okay? It can be mental, it can be emotional, it can be, of course, body too. It can also be somewhere deeper within your subconscious, right? And that's what it was. Here it is. When I was looking for synonyms for limitations, limitations can be blocking, circumstances, conditions, constraints, control, curbing, impediment, inhibition, injunction, obstruction, right? Obstruction is like a very popular word, right? Obstruction of justice, right? I've been watching Suits. I finished already, but at one point, I was watching Suits. It's a very popular drama about lawyers and very interesting. And the word obstruction was like very much in my vocabulary, right? Like a very much a lawyer term, right? Reservation can also be as a synonym for limitation. Of course, the word restriction, right? And that's what it is. So I asked Pavel, I said, when you meant limitation, what did you mean? Hi, Alicia, how are you? And he said, look, limitations were about resistance. Limitations refer to your inner being. Something within you resists. Resistance of change. Resistance of something new in your life. Remember we did that yesterday when we drew. First I said, look at the white page. And I said, look at this. This is about possibilities. And then we drew the line. And I said, there are different ways. We live in a certain schedule. We live in a certain, a way of doing things in life. Every day, whether we want it or not, whether it's intentional or not, we have a certain schedule we follow, right? Some people have it more intentional, get up, when people have babies, they know you feed the baby a certain way, a certain time. Some people have a time length for baby feeding, some people don't. But the idea is that you need to follow some structure. You need to follow some schedule, right? Those with younger children know what I'm talking about. Those who work in daycares know what I'm talking about. With kids, you must have a structure. They need to go to sleep at a certain time, eat at a certain time. That's how life works. We adults follow certain schedule in life too. And when we want something new in life, okay, most people who come to the NeuroGraphic method are people who say, I feel like I want something new in life. I need change in life. I want something new. And that's the idea. You come to get something new. And NeuroGraphica is a premise of doing something new, of starting new, of seeing new possibilities in life. And that's from within us. We have something that will hold us back. In psychology, it's called resistance. Okay. In religion, there is a part, right? Most religion will talk about something, part of you that directs you toward doing good and part of you that directs you toward doing bad. Okay. That part that directs you toward doing bad in religion is what in psychology we call resistance. Okay. Resistance is that part of us, it on any level. It can be emotional, it can be mental, it can be on a body level. But there is a part of us that tells us, maybe don't start something new, maybe don't go that way. That resistance came up as a result, of course, it started in childhood. It came up as a result of certain traumas, of certain restrictions that were placed in our life by adults who cared for us, right? Adults told us, don't cross the street when the red light is on. Only cross the street when the green light is on. Now imagine, people, when you're a child, you follow what your parents tell you, but when you're adults learn how to follow, set their own limitations, set their own rules, and follow the rules. Now, there are rules that are set by the government, right? We must follow that. Certain things we're not allowed to do in the society. But a lot of things, we call it moral and ethical choices, we set ourselves. And they are, something we think about consciously. I have a moral obligation about not maybe somewhere, different definition people will have, different ways of doing it, but everybody more or less have understanding that you're not supposed to steal. Everybody understand you're not supposed to kill unless, we're talking about the criminals who are in jail for killing, right? So that's what it is. We all have rules. Certain, boundaries of the rules may be relevant to some and not relevant to others. But limitations that are posed by the government, by the society, are restrictions. Limitations that posed by other people on us, we call them restrictions. Limitation that we have an inner side, right? For some reason, I don't like eating boiled eggs. I don't know why. Could be because maybe I was allergic to it when I was a child. Maybe I don't like the taste of it, but it's a limitation. If somebody tells me, would you like a boiled egg? I'm going to say no, but it's a conscious limitation. There are a lot of limitations that we have that are subconscious. Some of them are self-imposed. Some of them are imposed on us. Were imposed on us when we were children by parents. And we just never kind of thought about it consciously and say, you know what? I don't believe in it, right? I don't think wearing red is bad for me, right? If my mother told me, don't wear red, it's not modest enough, it's not good, it doesn't look good on me. I actually have that about color yellow, right? I have very big reservation about wearing color yellow. I think it looks bad on me, right? And I'm thinking, where did it come from? And I realized probably come from one time when I was wearing yellow. I had a favorite yellow dress when I was a child, and my mother said, don't wear it. It looks so bad on you. It doesn't match you. It doesn't match your skin tone. So as a result, it's in my head. It's a limitation. I cannot wear yellow. It's not good on me. It doesn't match my skin tone, and so on and so forth. Okay. As a result, this limitation created something we call the resistance. The resistance is the way we move from what we want to where we are now. And then again, resistance is kind of like makes us, I saw a beautiful yellow dress. I want to wear it. But then I go back to the fact that, but it's not good for me. My mother told me when I was a child, but I still want to wear it because it looks so pretty, but it's not good on you. So we keep going back and forth from where I want to be to where I am, some limitation that's holding me back. That actually takes me back to the past. Remember, we explored that yesterday. We're in the present, we went to the future, we traveled in the past if necessary. And that's the idea. Back and forth, going back and forth, unable to move forward. It's interesting to know that in NeuroGraphica, when we work with limitation, we start working with resistance, inner blocks, outer constraints, inner limitations. We start understanding. Sometimes it comes to the conscious when we work with something we call the reflection process. The reflection process is when we start becoming aware. What is holding me back? What is my resistance? Why don't I want to be rich? Everybody had come to me with a goal. I want to become a millionaire. Somehow nobody becomes a millionaire unless, some people few, but it's like very few people. 1 out of 100, 1 out of 1,000 people become millionaires. Why? Why can't everybody become millionaires? Why can't everybody work on their limitations and become millionaires? Because we all have certain limitations within us. We all have certain resistance. In order to work with resistance, in order to overcome the resistance, we need to establish a safe connection with our inner self. Our inner self is our inner child, that little, part of us who were told a lot of limitation because it was necessary for us to be safe when we were children. But now that we're adults, we need to learn to consciously connect to those resistance, to those limitations, understand, do I still think it's wrong to cross the street when the color is red? If there are no cars around, and now I always use that example, and I know it's cultural. When I'm in Europe, and if I cross the street when the color is red, people look at me funny, like, what are you doing? Even if there are no cars, people will wait for the light to change. In America, it's not like that. You can change, if there is no cars, you can cross the street even if it's red color. Although the law does work opposite, and I know people can get a citation, a ticket, for crossing on the red light, just FYI. But that's interesting to know that's also cultural. Okay. But I'm an adult. I make a decision. If there are no cars, I'm aware of safety and I can cross the street. And that's an interesting understanding. That should be done to every single limitation that we have within ourselves, within our subconscious. But again, in order to do that, we need to establish a safe connection. And that's what NeuroGraphica does. Within the NeuroGraphic method, actually, we're discussing the basic user course, the beginner. We have something called algorithm. Here, I'm going to actually turn on for those of you on Facebook, you're going to see the presentation. Those of you on Instagram, no worry. I'm going to actually turn the camera soon. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to explain all of the NeuroGraphica, all of the algorithms within the NeuroGraphic method, the basic user course, okay? Okay, and that's an interesting part. Look at this. Look at pay attention to the algorithms that I'm showing you here. Okay, we have 5 algorithms. There's something new coming up. I'm going to do a refresher course in December. And there will be a new algorithm joining. It's actually a combination of 2 algorithms. Hello, Zuleika. How are you? Nice to see you, dear. Welcome, welcome. Okay, in the basic user course, look, I'm going to actually certain parts of it, the foundations of the NeuroGraphic method, I'm going to make it as an open session so everybody can have access to it. I think everybody should have access to the NeuroGraphic method one way or another. You know, the knowledge how to draw the neural line, like what we did yesterday, is something everybody should have access to because it brings so much balance, so much harmony to one's life. It's very important to make it of somebody's life. You know, if anything happens, if you feel like you are upset about something or you are, you know, you need some kind of, you know, you have an emotional turmoil and you need some kind of outlet, NeuroGraphica is a perfect tool for it, okay? You take a piece of paper, you're going to draw the neural line, it will help you. I'm going to do an open session where we draw the 40 circles. Those of you in my basic user course, we have a new way to do the 40 circles algorithm, okay? So welcome to join that. The 5 main algorithms of the basic user course consist of 5 major. ARI, algorithm for revealing the intentions, okay? I'm going to write them down. Those of you in Instagram, don't worry, I'm going to change my camera soon. I'm going to write it down and explain it to you. Algorithm for removing limitations, classic. Algorithm for removing limitations, express. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do it right now. Yeah. Those of you on Facebook, you see the presentation, but those of you on Instagram, I'm going to write it down, okay? 5 main algorithms of the basic user course, okay? This course is what gives you all the foundations, all the knowledge, all the tools to learn how to utilize NeuroGraphica for self-coaching. There is a reason why the basic user course is called the self-coaching. Pavel likes to call the basic user course the course for removing limitation because of what it does. Look at this algorithm. ARI, algorithm for revealing intentions. Okay? When you want to draw about something, when you have a lot of energy, when you just want to, like I told you, algorithm for revealing intentions, when you take a piece of paper and you just start drawing the neural lines, okay? That's what it is. The algorithm for removing limitations is an acronym with ARL, okay? So I'm going to change my camera. Those of you in Facebook can also join me now. Okay. ARL stands for Algorithm for Removing Limitations. One of my students once asked me, Lana, why do we use the word algorithm? Okay. And I had to, she said, it's when I tried to explain it, she was a specialist student. So she's like, when I was trying to talk to my clients and students, she said, they kept asking me, why does it call algorithm? It's such a mathematical word. And this is what I will be explaining in the foundations of NeuroGraphica. I will do an open sessions where I will be talking about the foundations of the NeuroGraphica method, and I will talk about it there. Algorithm refers to the fact that we must follow certain steps in order to get from feeling limitation to removing the limitation, removing the resistance, going ahead, reaching your goal. Okay, it's following. Specifically, I will discuss it with you, 8 steps. It's called the 8 steps of the algorithm. Okay, the ARL is the main algorithm for the basic user course, and the name refers to removing limitations, removing resistance. How do you remove resistance? Some psychologists would say you can never fully remove resistance, you can never fully remove limitations, and I will say you're right. What we're going to do is establish safe connections with your inner self. And when I talk about your inner self, yes, I'm going to use Eric Burns' theory. Those subparts of who you are, your inner child, your inner parent, your inner adult, establishing your inner adult, giving support to your inner adult. What do you do with your inner child? You give love, care, right? What do you call that? TLC, tender, love, and care. TLC to your inner child. That's how you establish safe connections. In order to soften the resistance, in order to bring your inner adult out, establish strong, support, you need to bring love and care to your inner child. That's how the resistance becomes softer. That's how limitations kind of maybe don't fully go away, but they do tend to become softer. You start noticing that your limitations kind of shift. You start noticing that your goal, you're getting closer to your goal. Most importantly, you start noticing that your environment changes. You start seeing various opportunities, and that's the idea. You start changing who you are on the inner self. You are softening the limitations. The limitations sometimes just kind of soften, kind of disappear. We call it dissolving, right? But you also start seeing results in your outer self, in your outer environment, in your social environment. We have another algorithm for it. It's called ARR, algorithm for removing restrictions. Restrictions refer to limitations posed by others. I'm going to tell you there's a whole explanation. Actually, there's something new that I learned. It will be a part of those of you in my basic user course. I'm going to add it to the course. It's important for you to listen to this, where I will explain all about this algorithm. This is a new algorithm that was introduced this year. It was introduced last year. I introduced it last year also. And Pavel has been exploring and added more development to this algorithm, and I will be bringing it to you. And Pavel came up actually with a new thing. He came up with an idea of combination of ARR, the algorithm for removing restrictions, with ARI, with the algorithm for revealing intentions. He says once you start removing the restrictions, your intentions become more revealed. He said there is a great way to go to kind of seamlessly move from this algorithm into this algorithm. And he created a way to combine the two algorithms, which is very unique, which is very interesting. And I will be bringing it to you. That's very unique. I don't know if not all instructors even have an access to that session. Okay, that's something interesting to pay attention to. With the ARL, the algorithm for removing limitations, we have not just one, not just two, but three different ways of doing it. Okay, we have the ARL classic. Okay, good. Three ways of doing the ARL. ARL, three ways. We have the classic, where you must follow the 8 steps in the exact sequence. We have the express, where you don't follow the 8 steps. You still do the 8 steps, but you can vary the steps. You can have a different sequence. And then we have something new that I did add already this year, but we're going to explore again during the refresher. We have something we call monochrome. The express is how we can vary the ARL, the algorithm, in a graphic way. You can vary the steps. The monochrome is where we're going to work with the emotional charge of the limitations. We're going to add not 3 or 4 colors, or some people like to add 5 or 6 colors, but only add 1 to 2 colors. 1 to 2 colors only. And you will see how it will change the emotional charge of the drawing. The way you view your limitation, the way you view resistance, the way you look at your goal will be changed. Okay. And the ARL Express is where we're going to work with neural lines, where we're going to see how adding neural lines to your catharsis changes the game, changes the way you view your shape, your catharsis, the way you view your goal, the way you work with your limitations. And of course, the classical is always the classical. You know, I always recommend to do classical at least once a week, at least in the beginning, whenever you set a goal, whenever you work with a case study means you work with the same goal for 4 to 5 sessions. You draw at least 5 drawings on the same goal. Why? Because exactly what it is, because it takes a number of times to work with a certain goal, especially if it's a big goal. If your goal is to buy a house, if your goal is to buy a car, some kind of a big goal, you know, that takes some time. I mean, is it easy to just go and buy a house? No, it takes a long period of time. You have to go look. You have to know which neighborhood you're going to live in. You have to know what kind of a house you want, what kind of a backyard or a front yard you want. How many rooms, how many bedrooms, how many, do you want a 1 living room? Do you want a living room, a dining room? Sometimes people have a combination of living or dining room. Some people, there are so many questions to consider. Okay. Same thing with buying a car. What color, what model? Nowadays we have, whether you want it, you know, electric car or regular, you know, conventional car. If you want an electric car, my son was thinking of getting a Tesla. He was like, how am I going to charge it? He lives in New York, right? He said, if I would live here, I live in Florida, my building has an electric car charger. In Brooklyn, in New York, he doesn't have that. That's going to be complicated. You see what I'm saying? You always have to think. There are so many steps to consider. Now, if your goal is to just go and buy a yellow dress, like I mentioned before, that's an easier goal. You don't have to make 4 or 5 drawings about it. Maybe you do about the limitations, about me changing my point of view that yellow would look bad on me, right? That's something I can work with. That may take a number of time because my inner limitations. But outer limitation, there's no limitation. I just take the money, go and buy the dress. Might be an option for me whether I wear the dress or not, right? My daughter did it. She loved the color yellow. She got a yellow dress, but it didn't look so good. But she said, no, Mom, I'm still going to wear it. She never wore it. As a result, my other daughter got it. But that's what happens. You can buy a dress, but whether you actually wear it, also a resistance of some time, a limitation. Some goals will take 1 or 2 drawings. Some goal will take 5 drawings, okay? Some goals will take 20 drawings. I remember Pavel was telling us a case study of when he bought a car. He said, that was a car I've been wanting for a long time. 10 years ago, I couldn't afford it. Now I can afford it. He said it took, I think he said 24, 25 drawings to get to that car. So that's called a case study. In the case study, the first drawing, I always suggest to do a classic ARL, removing limitations, following the 8 steps sequentially, okay? You actually go 1 after 2, 2 after 1, 3 after 2. You know, you don't vary steps. You don't jump over any steps. You follow the 8 steps and you get to the end. In the foundations of neurographic, I'm actually going to talk about the 8 steps, okay? I'm going to talk about something we call the reflection process. The reflection process is how we, change our attitude, change our charge, change our triggering to certain words, to certain items, to certain colors. Like for me, like I said, the yellow color dress. I love color yellow. I always add it in my drawing. But if you ask me to wear a yellow dress, I'm going to say no, thank you. As much as I love the color. Now, my other favorite color is blue, and you can see me wearing blue today. Look, even my mouse is blue. I love blue. Blue is my resource color. Okay. And that's the idea. The reflection process is where we start processing, learning how to soften limitations, let go of limitations, releasing limitations. Give me a second. I just want to go back. Let me see if... And that's the idea. The basic user course is the perfect starter course for you to come and join and start discovering this amazing method for yourself. Okay? Come join the basic user course. Come discover what it's about. Those of you in my course, we're going to have a refresher course in December. I'm setting the dates today. Those of you who are joining, who would like to buy it, you will be getting a bonus course. You will be getting a course called the Neuro Miracles course. December is coming up. December is usually a month of miracles, right? It's winter, it's about people are like, getting colder, it's getting darker earlier. So people are looking for lights, people are looking for miracles, people are looking for something else that shows them, I'm here for you. And NeuroGraphic Miracles is a great course for that. And it's a bonus for those of you who buy the basic user course. Again, you have a few more days before the price goes up, because as soon as I set the date for the refresher course, as soon as I announce it on my website, the price will go up. Okay, for now, the price is very low. It's, I believe, $99. Is it still $99? Maybe it's lower. I'm going to check now. But yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's $99. Okay. I'm inviting you to rush and buy the course. And the course comes in recording, but everybody are always invited for any and all live sessions that I always bring as a refresher. Okay. If you have any questions for me, I'm inviting you to ask me questions. You can messenger me. The best way, the fastest way to reach me and to get my answer would be to send me a message by Messenger, Facebook Messenger. The second way would be email. Instagram Messenger, for some reason, I still have to work on the settings. For some reason, I don't get the messages right away, but I try to check my Instagram every day. So if you have any questions, if you're an Instagram person, send me a message. I will be happy to answer that. Basically come. I have a lot of open sessions, a lot of explanations on my YouTube channel. If you're watching me on YouTube now, and if you're not, please, I'm asking you to support my YouTube channel. I'm on YouTube as Lana Shalom. Welcome to find me. Please subscribe. Please like my video while you're watching it. That's what will bring it up so we can share this method with other people. My email is Lana Shalom, LANASHAL, exactly as my profile name. Then number 76 at gmail.com. Lana Shal, I'm sorry, it's not Lana Shalom, Lana Shal, LANASHAL at gmail.com. Okay. If you're on Instagram, it might be in my profile, the head of the profile, where I might have put my email there. Again, you're welcome to send me a message and I will be happy to answer. Okay, any questions, welcome to go join. To go to my website, it's lanashalom.com. You can also find me some countries, for some reason, cannot access lanashalom.com. My email, my website is NeuroGraphicaUSA.com. Okay, welcome to join, welcome to find me. Again, watch yesterday's drawing session, and most importantly, we're drawing live on Sunday, 11 a.m. Somebody actually told me that that sometimes they have a hard time finding the live on Facebook. So I'm trying to figure out if I can do it. I might just post a Zoom link for you guys to join me on Zoom. If you want to join me on Zoom, I will post it on my profile in Facebook. I can't do it in Instagram because Instagram doesn't let you like click and just kind of go. But again, if you want to, message me and I will send it to you, okay? Come join me live on 11 a.m. As we are starting the week of Thanksgiving, we're going to draw gratitude. Come join gratitude. Come draw gratitude with me as we're using the NeuroGraphic method. Again, to go forward. Gratitude is one of the best ways to go forward towards any and all goals you have in mind, okay? Thank you for joining me today. Any questions, welcome to ask. Let me check my Facebook. Join me, ask me, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you, okay? If you want me to explore, if you have any questions for me, I am going to allocate one day for my live sessions where I'm going to actually answer questions, okay? Oh, great. Okay, thank you, status. I'm trying to understand if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Then I will try to share it on Instagram, and you're welcome to invite everyone. Invite your friends, invite anybody who you think would benefit from the live sessions, okay? Looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. Wishing you a beautiful weekend ahead. Tomorrow is Friday, and then Saturday is right next to you. So enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you on Sunday. Goodbye, everybody.